Welcome you to this broadcast of girls OHSAA District Semifinal Basketball on NKTelco Sports. We're at the Sidney High School where the Fort Loramie Redskins will take on the Jackson Center Tigers. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Climate Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kilkee Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Crown Equipment, and NKTelco. Along with Jeff Henshin, I'm Dave Kanapke. We're at Sidney for two Shelby County League opponents, the Fort Loramie Redskins and the Jackson Center. Fort Loramie, 22-0 overall, number 1 seed. Jackson Center 13-1 overall, the number 5 seed. Jeff, this is the third time these two will play against each other. Obviously, Fort Loramie's the favorite, but Jackson Center, a young but also a very talented team.
They are young, although they were young last year, so not quite as young. The same youngsters, if you will, are playing again this year, but they're going to be playing again next year. They got to put together a good 4 quarters against Fort Loramie. Early in the year when they played Fort Loramie at their house, it was very competitive about halfway through the game. It was either halftime or a timeout by Coach Siegel, and something changed, and Fort Loramie came out and went on to increase that to about a 20-point win, and then Fort Loramie at home beat them by 30 near the end of the season. But since that time, Jackson Center has won 5 in a row, so they've got some confidence. They're a young team, like you said. They are the underdogs, so really no pressure on them. Go out and have the game of your life tonight. See if you can knock off a very good team in Fort Loramie.
Fort Loramie, they have 2 first-teamers in the Shelby County League. Ava Turner, the Player of the Year, averages 10 points a game. Also, Avery Brandewey, first team, all Shelby County League. She averages 12 points and 8 rebounds a game. And on the other side for Jackson Center, you have Presley Reese, their point guard, sophomore. She was honorable mention. You have McKinley Reichert, sophomore post player. She was second team all Shelby County League teams. Some talented young, those two seem to have a connection between Reese and Reichert.
Well, they're classmates, and I've had a number of their games, and it seems like they pass the ball well against each other. They're not sisters, but I think they're close enough from growing up together that they know where to go, and plus they have a good knowledge of the basketball game. I think that comes through the family of their fathers, let's say, and brothers and sisters as such, that they have a good understanding of the basketball game. They know the tricks, if you will, to make things a lot easier, and those two do click well together, and that they're going to need to click well tonight. But, they're special, they're fun to watch, and they're young, so, a lot of the ceiling is still high for them.
And Fort Loramie, some people early in the season are saying maybe Fort Loramie's not as good. Well, they've only finished number 2 ranks overall in the Ohio in Division 4. They've 22-2, just another juggernaut for Coach Siegel.
They continue to win, and we'll take a quick break here as we have the national anthem.
My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Getting ready for our Emerson Climate Technologies starting lineup. For the visiting team will be Fort Loramie. 20-2 overall, number 1 seed in this Sidney sectional. Starting us off, Player of the Year, Shelby County League, Ava Turner, 5'8" senior, 10 points a game. 21. Victoria Mesher, a 6-foot sophomore, 8 points a game. 22. Skylar Albers, 5'10 junior, just under 3 points a game, 21 threes. Jaden Rose, point guard on this team, 5'5 junior. Avery Brandaway, number 40, a 5'10 sophomore, 12 points, 8 rebounds again. Head coach for the Redskins, Carla Seeger, in her 24th year. Well over 500 wins. She got that earlier this year. Now the Emerson Climate Technology starting lineups for the Jackson Center Tigers, coached by Tiffany Brown in her first year. Number 4, Grace Prenger, 5'6 junior. Number 10, Presley Reese, a 5'9 sophomore, 8.5 a game, 4 rebounds, over 2 steals a game. Number 14, McKinley Reichert, 5'10 sophomore, 12 points a game, 6 rebounds. Next is number 20, Addie Biederman, a 5'9 junior, 7.5 points a game. And their center, number 44, Macy Klopfenstein, I should say. 5'11 junior, averages 6 points a game and 5 rebounds. So those are your starting lineups. Now let's talk about our keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Jeff, let's start with the Redskins.
Coach Siegel mentioned her team needs to stay within themselves. This is a big game. They want to get it, but stay within themselves. Also limit Jackson Center's big three, being Reichert, Reese, and Biederman, and also push the ball up the court. Traditional concept there for Fort Loramie, get the ball, push it up the court, get some buckets in transition. And for Jackson Center, Coach Brown said we need to stop them in transition. Ironically, she knows what Fort Loramie wants to do. They want to limit those opportunities in transition, win the boards. That'll prevent some good outlets for the Redskins on the rebounding end, and also handle the Fort Loramie ball pressure. That's how Fort Loramie strives. They play great defense.
Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Fort Loramie controls the tip. Ava Turner's shot. It's off the mark. Jackson Center in their white uniforms. 2 sophomores, 2 juniors. There are 2 sophomores and 3 juniors on the team. No seniors on this team. Those are in the starting lineup. There's Biederman trying to drive. Gives it up to Reichert. Reichert, the leading scorer, just under 12 points a game. Man-to-man defense causes a turnover by Fort Loramie. Pushing ahead, they try to go underneath the Mesher. She is triple team, stolen away there by Presley Reese. Reese will hand it to her classmate Reichert and back to Presley. 13-11 on the season as Jackson Center went through some traffic, ran into a teammate and some Loramie players. It goes out of bounds. It will stay with the Tigers.
I'd say Reese was trying to shoot it and kind of ran into Reichert, who was trying to get out of the way. Luckily, it was deflected out of bounds by the Redskins, so the Tigers, again, will have another look. But, boy, there's been tight pressure defense by the Redskins so far.
Biederman off the glass. Can't get it to fall. It goes off of Fort Loramie, and Jackson Center will get another chance.
That move by Biederman is what they need to knock down. I mean, it's going to be contested. She got to the basket and had a good look at it, but those are tough shots. But if they can knock those down at a high percentage, that's going to keep them very much in this ball game.
Biederman, too long, and it goes about out of bounds again, and another chance for the Tigers.
Well, that's early winning the battle of the boards, but they've got to capitalize. They've had a couple looks here and had Biederman coming to the left side. She's left-handed. She's going to get her again, but that was a good shot for her from this side. But she was strong in the deflection stage with the Redskins.
Third time they played each other at Fort Loramie in December 10th, or at Jackson Center. Fort Loramie won 46-24, and then in January 19th, Fort Loramie won 61-29. That first game was
much closer. Like I said, I had it. I saw it. I think Coach Siegel had to call a timeout in the first half. If that means anything, a moral victory. But, boy, it's going to be a good possession for the Tigers. They'll get multiple looks, and now Reichert's going to have a chance to knock down some points from the foul line.
Foul by Skylar Albers. So Fort Loramie won both of those, but coaches always tell you it's hard to beat a good team 3 times, and that's what Fort Loramie will have to do if they want to advance.
That's what Jackson Center will have to do.
Jackson Center, I'm sorry.
But you mentioned that's what Coach Siegel, she knows that, but she says her first key to the game, stay within ourselves. This is a big game. She knows it's not going to be easy, unless they make it easy by not playing their game. I mean, you can't overlook anyone, but boy, tough break for the Tigers, Dave. Multiple looks, nothing to show for it.
3 ball. That will be rebounded by Reichert.
Avery Brandewie with the triple try, correct, number 40?
Yep. So Reese will reset it. Looks back to Coach Tiffany Brown in her first year at Jackson Center. They find Reese off the glass and rattles in.
Good ball, good movement without the basketball by Reese. Got a good screen and got a good look.
Quickly on the other side, Ava Turner with a runner on the right side ties us up at 2.
Well, it didn't take long for the Redskins, Dave, to get down the court. We mentioned getting the ball down the floor fast for the Redskins, and there's Reese, another shot. I've seen her shoot that a lot this year. Tough shot. She's a right-handed player shooting with her left hand.
Knocked out of bounds, will stay with Fort Loramie. Fort Loramie advanced 2 easy wins as Carissa Myron in the game. They won easily over Fairlawn 70-18, beat Troy Christian 69-23. Now they're on to at least what they used to always call the sectional final here at Sidney, kind of a super sectional.
But now it's the district semifinal is what I understand. They want to go 2 games, right? 2 games of sectionals, 2 games of districts, and then 2 regionals and 2 states.
I think the OHSAA is trying to standardize from the different ones. And
whoa, there's a bus.
There's a travel. There is Turner, got a little bit too fast.
She definitely had the right idea, just her feet got ahead of her mind, but she's a good player. You mentioned a player of the year.
Player of the year, Shelby County League. 5th year in a row, the Fort Loramie Redskin has been the player of the year.
Well, when you win 22, 25, 29, 26, 26, 22 games, Dave, I think you got a number there. That's how many wins you get a year.
Klopfenstein banks it in. Lead back to the Tigers. Drive to the hoop is Brandewie with a nice runner.
That's a nice move. That's athletic. You know, she knew she'd have to go through some contact and didn't draw any contact, got away from the defense and is able to score the bucket off the glass.
Reese might have got away with a double dribble. Reichert battling with the ball will get a jump ball. Alder in possession will keep it with Jackson Center. Couple more substitutions for Fort Loramie. Skylar Albers back in as well as Summer Hoying into the game.
One thing Fort Loramie's had in those multiple years of 20-plus wins is depth.
Yes.
I mean, you need to play this style of basketball. You need bodies that can rotate in and keep people fresh.
Reese, contact, hits the rim. Rebound is Rose, and there's a foul in the backcourt.
As I put my head down to record the stats and heard you say foul, my first instinct was it's got to be on Reese. She was frustrated.
Yep.
She got, I don't know if she was fouled. She ran into a solid defender. Her shot didn't go in, and as I went down to mark my numbers, I heard you say foul. It's got to be on the girl that shot the basketball.
Jaden Reese, basketball. Fort Loramie, with all their success, it's a fairly young team. Only 3 seniors. There's only 1 in the rotation.
Ooh, illegal screen.
So illegal screen against Fort Loramie on number 30, Jaden Rose. So you think, with a 20-2 record, they'll be calm, cool. You got to remember these are still pretty young players on this team.
Yeah, some of them, as they had a big senior class, I think last year, a number of good players, and sometimes you don't get as many minutes. You're not the focal point of the offense, and now they are. So it kind of rotates. I mean, sometimes you have a girl that's the superstar all the way through, and sometimes the new group comes through, and it's your turn to shine.
Good double team there by Fort Loramie. Causes the turnover. Coach Brown will take a timeout. All the timeouts sponsored all season long by Precision Strip will give us an opportunity to thank our sponsors. Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Climate Technologies, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, Crown Equipment, and NKTelco. Our additional sponsors, Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Seichford Incorporated, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hillsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, and St. Henry Bank. With 4:07 to go in the first quarter, pretty even game so far. We're tied at 4.
Similar to the game I saw at Jackson Center, where Jackson Center had Fort Loramie in control. They were in the ball game for much of the first half, and likewise here, they got off to a good start. They forced Fort Loramie into some turnovers. Jackson Center's had some rebounding battles and forced another turnover. So right now, Jackson Center playing pretty well, and they're still tied.
Both times Biederman in a little bit of trouble. Both times Jackson Center has scored, Fort Loramie quickly got a ball down the court and scored right away. So the lead was only brief. Reichert, a fadeaway, banks it home. Nice shot by the sophomore McKinley. Reichert gives the Tigers the lead 6-4 in our First National Bank scoreboard. And there's a travel.
Again, that's now the fourth turnover for the Redskins. Jackson Center with only 2. So right now the Tigers taking better care of the basketball. They haven't had any live ball turnovers that I can recall. One?
Yeah. No, I don't think a live ball where
Fort Loramie scored quickly after the make, but no turnovers have led to instant offense. And that's where Fort Loramie, that's that special teams, I like to call it, where your defense creates a loose ball, your other player comes up with it, and boom, it's a foot race to the basket, and usually a layup attempt.
Reichert running the offense this possession.
Like Reese. That pass, cross court, Summer Hoying just a step behind, or she had a way to go.
Pranger contact. Refs are letting them play.
That was a tough shot going that way for a right-hander.
Underneath, Summer Hoying, we will have a foul.
Tough one.
Jackson Center.
Yeah, Grace Pranger down here for Jackson Center. Coming towards us is tough for a right-hander to turn around. And down here on the other end on the double team, Jackson Center picks up the second foul against Presley Reese. That's not good. Her cousin will come in to replace her.
Her cousin will come in to replace number 24, Kendall Reese.
And Jackson Center is not very deep.
Only about 6, sometimes 7. Lee Lickenberg will get some time as well. And there's an inbounds pass. Shot up and in by number 12, Carissa Meyer. So 6-6. Long pass is intercepted by Fort Loramie. And there is a pass stolen away. Coach Siegel talked about in the keys is to push the ball forward, but
that was a push, and that was not open. We had a great angle. There were 3 white jerseys that collapsed on that pass, and Biederman ended up on the ground. She seems to be okay. There's a nice back door.
Biederman too strong off the glass.
She's a left-handed player. I'm pretty sure that was a tough shot for her going with the right hand in traffic. And again, a cleanly defended play, if you will. No foul called. So Jackson Center, you got to be thinking of the pressure they face when they go into the paint to score. It's been a lot of hands in the air, a lot of black jerseys defending them.
Meyer tries to pass underneath. Goes off the foot of Klopfenstein, so a break for Fort Loramie. Coming back in the game is Avery Brandewie and also Victoria Meschert, as Coach Siegel has been running players in and out.
Again, that's what she does. And when you have the depth, you can do that.
Brandewie off the right side.
Reichert
struggle for the rebound. Yeah, Reichert comes up with it. Tipped around, went off somebody's foot, and that'll be Albers had it, but she slid out of bounds while she was touching the ball.
That was they used all 84 feet of that play. You remember it was Reichert that was dang near out of bounds down on that end. It ends up kind of a battle for the ball on the opposite end of the court.
So Biederman will inbound it. Reichert gives it back to Biederman. Addie has to pick up her dribble. Tough pass. It bounces around. Fort Loramie with the steal. Pass ahead to Brandewie. Avery will put up a shot, and now we'll shoot 2 foul shots.
That's the stuff they like to do in transition. There you saw the tempo, and you saw a very athletic Brandewie on the left side kind of slice her way through, and in slicing through, the offensive player usually has the advantage, got some contact, and gets the foul called against Reichert. Her first foul and 2 free throws coming up for Brandewie.
First team All-Shelby County Athletic League for the sophomore Avery Brandewie. Another first teamer, Ava Turner, back into the game, as well as number 23, Alex Rose, with her first appearance tonight.
76% free throw shooter on the season for the 5'10 sophomore. You mentioned almost 12 points a game and almost 8 rebounds. So, and again, of the 32-minute basketball game, the way they play a number of players, you wonder how much time they get. And then with the running clocks and stuff, she does that in probably a much shorter game than what most normal teams play with a full 32-minute non-running clock.
Jackson Center's breaking the press pretty good so far.
They haven't had the careless turnover at midcourt that Fort Loramie was able to take it in for an uncontested layup.
Pranger, as they run the offense without Reese, the normal point guard on the bench with 2 fouls.
That hurts. She's a little bit taller point guard. But, right now, look, there's no breathing room. It's not like they're playing inside the three-point line. They're playing defense all over.
Klopfenstein.
But Reichert, I believe it was, with the assist. Heads up play. And Reichert's strong to throw the ball. She can snap it. And a good job by Klopfenstein getting open.
Turner will shoot with a long 2. Biederman to rebound. Under a minute to go. We are tied at 8. Biederman misses the tray. Rebound Fort Loramie. Pass it into the corner. 3 ball misses everything there by Turner. Fort Loramie with the ball. Biederman look over to Coach Brown. See if they go for 1. Kendall Reese gives it up to Reichert. Pull it out a little bit. Reichert, a very good ball handler for a tall player. She's directing traffic. Probably a good chance she's going to clear out and take the shot with 6 seconds. Nice move, a runner. Can't get it to fall. There'll be a jump ball with 1 second to go to be Fort Loramie ball. See if they get a shot off.
That move by Reichert, if she knocks that down, I do it all the time because she shoots off of dribble, kind of a new style jump shot anymore, like a pull-up. It was a nice shot. I don't see many girls doing that kind of move. She had a nice rhythm. Unfortunately for Reichert, it doesn't go down.
Mesher will launch one well short. Played a very competitive first quarter of basketball here at the Hive at Sidney. We are all tied at 8 here on NKTelco Sports.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
1 quarter in the books here at the Hive of Sidney on our First National Bank scoreboard. We are tied at 8.
Yeah, a lot of action going on. Jackson Center, 4 for 10 were the Tigers in the first quarter. 0 for 1 from beyond the arc. So 4 of 11 from the field. 11 shots for Fort Loramie. They were 3 of 6 inside shooting inside the arc. 0 for 1 outside the arc. 3 of 7. So a few more shots by the Tigers. Remember that one possession, they had about 3 or 4 looks, got fouled, went to the line, came away with no points. They did not capitalize on any of those opportunities. And a number of turnovers for Fort Loramie, 5 turnovers, 4 for the Tigers, but no one got live ball attempts.
Tipped away by Fort Loramie. Brandewood with the tip. She has the ball back to Rose as they'll reset it. They couldn't get the quick shot. They work through now as Jackson Center has switched to a zone. Looks like a 1-3-1.
Yes, I agree.
Mesher on the wing. Fort Loramie trying to recognize and adjust their offense. Turner on the wing.
Yeah, and I don't know if Jackson Center, you wonder how much they played a 1-3-1 during the season. Maybe it's something, maybe they haven't done it much, and now Fort Loramie's got to recognize it.
And it's a little unusual defense. Not a lot of teams play a 1-3-1. I know Minster plays as some, but 2-3 and 3-2 is much more common. Fort Loramie trying to get into their zone offense. It's slowed them down.
Now it's like they're almost back to man-to-man because I've seen Reese.
Yeah, they have.
Now it's man-to-man.
So they switched to man as it was in zone. Turner on the corner.
But yeah, Pranger's basically stayed around Grace Pranger's been around like the 15-foot mark the whole time.
Mesher move underneath, tipped out of bounds, will stay with the Redskins. So I've come 2 more Redskins come in. They've been coming in 2 by 2. This time Carissa Meyer and also Skylar Albers.
Fort Loramie did not have an offensive rebound in the first quarter, so kudos to the Tigers. Coach Brown talked about winning the boards. That's a big one when you don't let the offense get multiple looks. So far they've done a nice job getting the four missed shots.
Albers with the three, rattles it home.
That's a good possession for the Redskins. They didn't get frustrated. It took them a while, and but Albers hits her 23rd of the season, and a big one on that possession, and then they force a turnover here. 2 turnovers in the first 2 possessions for the Tigers.
I like what Addie Biederman there. The pass was over her head. She's like, calm down. It was just one play. It's Jackson Center has come in here confident. They feel like they can play with them. Now they have to execute it. They're just down by 3. When you play Fort Loramie, you just got to withstand the storm sometimes. As there goes a pass through the hands.
Yeah,
Fort Loramie just has a flurry of points, and all of a sudden you're down 10, 15, and then
it can go pretty quick. As right now you may say Fort Loramie is struggling. Yes, it's a competitive 3-point game, but give them about 30 seconds and it can go from 3 to about 10
back-to-back
in a couple possessions. So
back-to-back turnovers by the Tigers.
Actually 3 turnovers, Dave. Yeah, it might be 3 turnovers, no shots this quarter. So I think all 3 possessions have resulted in a Tiger turnover.
Pulling on the wing.
And it looks like man-to-man defense here.
Summer finds Albers, blocked by Biederman. It goes off of Albers. Good defense there by Biederman.
Yeah, she went up well. Got the ball, how do you want to say? She didn't block it in the hands of Albers. She waited and got it. Was like in the air, so there's no chance of foul. There's no hand contact. There's one of those passes where the defense is moving and the offense is not.
Brandewy comes up with it, is fouled on the shot.
Biederman picks up her first foul.
It's one of the few live ball turnovers where it's quickly into a shot. As with dead ball turnovers, you throw it out of bounds. Okay, You didn't get a shot, but it's not going to immediately be points the other way.
But here they have a chance with Avery Brandewy. Points off turnovers, won't get that first one, but here comes Presley Reese back in with 2 fouls for the Tigers.
There's recognition by Coach Brown's like, we need her in there now. You can save her, and the game might be over.
Yeah, like you said, in a couple possessions, you could be down 10 points. And that we have a great angle up here. Of course, there's no one playing defense or you or me, but I saw that pass. It was there, and the offense stood. It's the defense that actually ran to the ball to make the steal. So
there's a jump
Loramie
ball.
just has an instinct to go after it. That's going to be another turnover.
Yeah,
5 turnovers.
I think they might have. I think they switched their press a little bit, or at least Jackson Center's having a lot more trouble in this quarter than they did the first quarter.
And a couple of times it's come just from simply trying to throw the ball on bounds.
Yes.
Overhead pass, and then that one. Fort Loramie moves a lot on offense, so they make you really talk on defense, communicate on who's switching, who's cutting, or who's
Turner is fouled by Biederman. Addie not happy with the call.
Back-to-back fouls.
Yeah, back-to-back fouls on Biederman. So now 2 Tigers with 2 fouls. Had Jackson Center a couple of their earlier games. I think in the Lehman game, Biederman had about 3 different blocks in the game. Very good jumper as the foul shot goes through by Turner.
And, good jumper probably helps, but I think she just is quick off of her feet and anticipates well because you don't have to touch the rim to block a shot, but if girls don't get a high release, you just have to be in the right spot, and she has a quick reaction and I don't have her numbers in front of me for actual shot blocking, but I've had games also where she has been a very fine defensive player.
2 free throws by Turner, stretches the lead to 6, and there's a steal by Turner. Dangerous time right now for Jackson Center, or a very good opportunity for Fort Loramie.
Yeah, the doors can either be blown open or it can be slammed shut, and Fort Loramie has a chance right now to kind of blow it open if they get a bucket here and make it a very difficult 8-point deficit with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter and can build on that. They've really started well here in the second quarter.
Rose will set it. There's Meyer. So now they have switched back to looks almost like a triangle and 2 maybe.
Yeah, maybe that. Oh, she's good save by the Redskins.
Rose will drive, dish it off. Shot up by Brandewy, almost went in. Klopfenstein with the rebound. She's tied up. We'll see if it's a tie. It is a tie up. This time we'll go to Jackson Center.
Well, Jackson Center has yet to basically cross the ball across half court basically here in the second quarter.
Presley Reese back in the game with 2 fouls, but she had to replace Biederman. Reese gives it back to Reichert to Pranger. Almost traveled, kept her pivot foot just barely on the floor.
Here comes the double team.
Oh, and there's going to be an offensive foul. Good double team there by Rose and also Turner, and frustrated Reichert into a foul.
Her second foul, so 3 Tigers with 2 fouls each now. And again, that double team, someone's open. It's again, we can see it from up here, but if you can get the pass to that girl, it really hurts the Fort Loramie's double teaming ability. But right now, it's been smothering. They forced, that's a turnover, I think 6 or 7 here in the quarter, turnovers.
3 ball by Albers is short. Rebounded by Reese, Kendall Reese, and she's tied up. And this time it'll stay on the Fort Loramie side.
Another look for the Redskins, as that's a couple times where now Jackson Center has had the rebound, but they can't clear it. It's like Fort Loramie doesn't go away, and they just smother the rebounder and can tie her up.
A little bit of trouble, finally able to get it to Turner. Turner gives it up to Mesher. 3 ball there by Skylar Albers.
That was a tough shot. She ran all the way down the baseline, came up from her left side, planted her foot, had to continue to spin all the way around, square herself up to get a shot off, and she buried it. 6 points for Skylar Albers all here in the second quarter.
On 2 threes. Jackson Center, am I right, have not had a shot yet this quarter.
Correct. They've got 6 turnovers.
Is Reichert trying to keep it in bounds. There's another double team.
But there's a good pass. Someone's open.
Kendall Reese shot. First one of the quarter. Off the rim. They push it ahead to Mesher. She'll step back. Can't get it to fall. Kendall Reese with the rebound.
I almost hate to say it. You might be better off. Let Reichert go to the corner with the ball. Let him double team. And then let her jump and then skip it across court.
Coach Tiffany Brown calls a timeout, full timeout. You're watching tournament basketball on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County has a job for you. Grand Lake Health System has over 800 employees. Included is Joint Township District Memorial Hospital and multiple physician practices. And we're now hiring a variety of positions that fit all education and skill levels. Plus, you'll get a great benefit package offered to both full and part-time workers. Join this rewarding career and help your community in the process. Contact Ohio Means Jobs Auglaize County for all your employment needs.
Coming out another precision strip timeout. Jackson Center trying to regroup. It was tied at the quarter break. They find themselves down 9 to Fort Loramie.
It's been a good start for the Redskins. This is kind of what we thought they would do in the first quarter. It didn't happen. It took them a quarter. Now they've kind of, applied it better, executed it better, but they've really disrupted Jackson Center's offense. But I really think here is a different style of defense, a double team. Get Reichert double teamed, and she's strong enough to jump, elevate, and snap the ball across court to the open player, and that's exactly what she did last time when she got stuck down here in the corner. Reese didn't make the shot, but they got a good look.
Biederman, who came back in there in that timeout with 2 fouls, shot too long. Turner to the hoop. Rebound there by Meyer. Blocked there by Biederman.
Well, with 2 fouls, she's got to be careful. Again, block it in the air, not while it's in her hand.
Biederman underneath. Nice pass to Klopfenstein before the shot, a foul.
Just the Redskins' 3rd foul. So, again, not much room, but they were able to squeeze the pass into Klopfenstein. She has 4 points, and she was a beneficiary of some nice passes to her in the first quarter when they overplayed and got some nice ball movement. That foul went against Carissa Meyer, unless you said that.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Her first team's 3rd.
2 more Redskins in the game. Rose and Hoying. Pass underneath to Klopfenstein.
Oh, that was Reichert.
I'm sorry, yeah. Reichert, and there's a steal by Biederman.
She's left-handed. Oh, turn and go the other way. Oh, I thought she had it. She's left-handed. She had the defense stopped.
3 there by Presley Reese.
Well, what a big answer for the Tigers when they needed it somewhat the most. They hit 5 straight now, got a turnover from Biederman, or created a turnover, and then Presley Reese, a big 3-pointer, a 4-point deficit.
Turner thought about a 3. So work it around to Rose. Under 2 minutes to go. Fort Loramie with a 4-point lead, the number 1 seeded team. The only losses this year was to OG and Rushi. A lot of other big wins this year for the 22-2 record.
The Rushi team was their last regular season game, correct?
Yes, or no, then they lost, and then they beat Liberty Benton by 5 and beat Marion Local in overtime by 6. 2 state-ranked teams there. They recovered nicely. Turner with a runner, able to get her own rebound. Klopfenstein with a rebound. A reach-in foul there on Turner in the backcourt.
Again, who missed the shot?
Yeah, frustration foul, yeah.
Now, she did get her own rebound, but then lost it or whatever. But then, again, Jackson Center comes up with a loose ball. They draw the foul on Turner, her first.
2 by 2 again as Mesher and Meyer back in the game.
But I meant to say that was their last league loss, is what Rushi beat him in their last league loss. So that made him go 11-1 in the season, correct?
First time after that broke a streak of 59 straight league wins. Reese is open. Almost had an N1, but she will shoot 2.
Again, who threw her the pass? Reichert. She's able to get rid of it. She's strong enough. She sees the floor well. And Reese was moving without the basketball, so as a double team came, I don't know if Reese's girl was the one double teaming her, but if it was, she left her. It went to the open space. Unfortunately, didn't get the N1, but that's the second foul against number 30, Jaden Rose.
Misses that one. But Jackson Center has put themselves back in the ball game, and if they can get through the rest of this half without their big 3, Biederman, Reichert, and Reese getting their third foul would be a big victory as well.
Yeah, that's another moral victory. You got minute 67 seconds to play in the half. You'd like to get into halftime with those girls. No more than 2 fouls, and a deficit, let's say, no more than 5. And they've got to hit some free throws here. They're now 1 for 4.
Reese now with 6, lead down to 3. As Mesher takes it across the timeline. Hands it off to Brandeweave, now to Albers. Under a minute to go. Glad you're here to join us here at Sidney, along with Jeff Hench, and I'm Dave Knapke. It's been an intense game so far. 2 league rivals, almost a travel there by Mesher. Albers will give it up to Meyer. Brandeweave. Jackson Center played some nice half-court defense. Out of 30 seconds. Brandeweave.
Straight up. Oh, yeah, I thought Reese didn't want to get her third.
Albers, short on the 3, tipped around, will stay with Fort Loramie. And as what you get a lot of times, you get differing opinions from different sides of the gyms. The referees are huddling today. Our referees tonight are Ray Bradshaw, Mark Herkin, and Jeff Price. They will keep the call, Fort Loramie ball.
And they're going to try to get one of the big 3 out. I think Kendall Reese wants to come in. It's going to be one of the girls, hopefully with 2 fouls, that comes out.
Kinley Reichert out of the game. First time I believe she's been out this half. Inbound it quickly to Summer Hoying. Biederman with the rebound. Coming up on 15 seconds.
Well, if you're Jackson Center, I might just stand and hold the ball, let Reese go with her left hand. And here comes a double team. There's her open girl.
Pranger will wrap around to Klopfenstein. Can't get the left-handed layup, but it stays on Jackson Center side.
Nice pass by Reese to find Pranger. Maybe a better wraparound pass for a smaller Pranger to find Klopfenstein. But it resulted in a tough left-hand shot, but all but in. Good execution by the Tigers.
3.8 seconds here. See if they can get a shot off. Biederman to Reese. Shot up. Entertaining first half of basketball. The favorite, Fort Loramie, just 3 points ahead of the underdog. Jackson Center 17-14 on our First National Bank scoreboard. We'll be back with the first half stats in the second half on NKTelco Sports.
We are here And here. And here.
Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Lift your career to new heights with Crown, an innovative global leader in the material handling industry with over a 75-year history of growth and success. We're seeking career-minded candidates for a wide variety of entry-level and skilled positions in our new Bremen, New Knoxville, Salina, Minster, and other U.S. locations. Visit crown.jobs to apply or find us on social media by searching Careers at Crown.
Whether you do business from a corner store or a corner office, there is one asset your business cannot do without: the Internet. Everything from sales and marketing, training and shipping, PR, HR, and R&D, your business relies on a fast, reliable, and secure connection. And now, it's more important than ever to partner with an internet provider you can trust. Get Flight Fiber for Business, backed by local tech support from NKTelco. Call today.
Welcome back to the Hive at Sidney High School. We're at halftime. Good ball game. Fort Loramie leads Jackson Center by 3 with the first half numbers. Mr. Jeff Henshin.
Okay, thank you, Dave. For the Jackson Center Tigers, 5 of 15 two-point shooting, 1 of 2 three-point shooting. Field goal percentage overall, 6 of 17 for 35%. The Tigers were 1 of 4 from the free throw line. Fort Loramie, 3 of 14 two-point shooting, 2 of 5 three-point shooting. Overall, 5 of 19. And from the free throw line, they were 5 of 6 turnovers. Jackson Center had 10. Fort Loramie committed 7. Rebounding, 14 for the Tigers, 15 for the Redskins. A pretty even battle. I mean, if you look at the numbers, it comes down to maybe Jackson Center could hit a couple more free throws and maybe capitalize on one of those looks where they had multiple looks early in the first quarter that came up empty. You know, they might be on top by 1. You know, obviously each coach is saying, well, if we don't turn the ball over, if Fort Loramie might say, hey, if we make some interior shots. They were 0 for 8 in the second quarter from two-point shooting.
Yeah, I thought the key part was 17-8. Jackson Center called a timeout with about, you probably have it written down. 3:12 to go. She put in all her starters. 3 of them had 2 fouls. Put Biederman back in. They made a 2, they made a 3, and they made a free throw. They had a 6-0 run. It looked like it was going to could be blowout time, and they were able to get it back.
Yeah, we talked about that with a door, you know, it could be blown open or shut, and that looks like Jackson Center shut it a little bit. I mean, there's still a draft blowing through here, but it definitely could have been about a 13-point spread at halftime, but now it's a 3-point spread.
And all those girls that had 3 fouls, they still have 3 fouls. I'm sorry, 2 fouls.
Yep.
They still have 2 fouls, so that's key.
I think Fort Loramie only has 1 girl with 2 fouls, Jaden Rose. But look for Fort Loramie to pressure it up. It was neat during halftime, right? Maybe not right when Jackson Center was done, but Biederman had her whole team around the foul line. They were in a circle there, and there was some talking going on. Obviously, they weren't talking about where they're going to go out to eat tonight or anything, but I think it was Biederman trying to be the leader, like, girls, we got another half to play. Let's get after it. And we'll see how that works out.
Presley Reese open for a bit, not able to hit the layup.
It was contested again.
Yes.
It wasn't wide open.
Wasn't a wide open layup.
And plus, it was with her offhand and another foul. Hopefully that's not on Reichert. It is. I didn't see quite. I thought maybe Kluffenstein got her.
Third foul on Reichert.
Well, you said they made it through the first half with no one with 3. They went 26, whatever that is, 26 seconds, and they pick up their third with Reichert.
Victoria Mesher with her first point of the night. Winner of this game will play on Saturday at Troy against the winner of number 2 seeded Southeastern, number 3 Covington. As Mesher hits both. Those two teams are playing at Versailles on Wednesday. Now we go out of bounds and untouched. So not able to inbound it again. Some of the ghosts of first half come back.
The second quarter. Ghosts of the beginning of the second quarter were just could not get the basketball inbounded. Just Fort Loramie almost masking tape or Velcro defense. I mean, they were just sticking on the Tigers. They have no fear of getting beat back door. They know they have help, and they just basically are in the Jackson Center girls' T-shirts, if you will, trying to play defense, and it makes it very difficult to get the pass.
Brandewie, quick pass underneath to Hoying. Hoying with the follow.
That was Mesher.
I'm sorry, Mesher.
Did Mesher got both shots, and there's an instant offense.
Second shot up. This time by Brandewie, and there will be a foul. That could be the 4th foul on Reichert. And it is. Tough break there.
Tough break is right. Ouch.
So now down by 7.
Did Mesher rebound her own shot in the air?
Yes.
And shoot it? Wow, that's a.
She missed, got her own rebound,
but
and
caught
put it
in the air.
Yeah, and there's a foul in the backcourt as Biederman, a little frustrated, draws the foul. Foul is on Fort Loramie. I didn't get the number. We'll see what flashes on the board.
30. Well, her third. So there have been many Fort Loramie fouls, but Jaden Rose, wrong place, wrong time. Her third, team's first of the half, 7:04 to play. And in that first minute, Reichert's picked up her third and fourth foul.
Reese, that's tipped away. Good defense there by Avery Brandewie.
Well, that's the difference between getting a layup for the Tigers or committing now their 12th turnover. The pass has got to be thrown where the Redskins can't get it, and your teammates have to be in the right spot. Give them good angles.
Meyer, who came in the game to replace Rose, sets the offense. Albers running through this offense. There's a too fast on the pass.
There's a lot of smoke on that one. I don't know if Turner plays softball. I think she probably does. Isn't her dad maybe the coach? Am I getting the wrong?
I think you're right,
family?
Yeah. Brad
Turner. She threw that one with some mustard on it.
Pass all the way ahead to Kendall Reese. Kendall able to chase it down.
Nice bounce.
Underneath to Klopfenstein, draws a foul.
Nice bounce pass. And Macy Klopfenstein, right area to field the bounce and go up strong and draw the foul against Turner.
Second on Ava Turner. So 2 shots here by the junior, Macy Klopfenstein.
No free throw attempts tonight. She now has 5 points in the game. Again, I was about ready to say it, 21-14. Another one of those awkward, kind of on the
verge.
Yep. You don't know if it's going to go up or down. And for right now, Klopfenstein, those are big points to keep the drought, if you will, for the offense. To stop that and maybe give your defense another chance here to get a stop against the Redskins on offense.
Jackson Center in their kind of combo man zone that they're
because Prayer doesn't move.
It's like a matchup zone. You kind of passing players off as you see the communicate.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a 1-3-1 though, right?
Albert Myers, good rebound there by Mesher. Albert's not able to hit it. Klopfenstein clears the boards.
Boy, was that Mesher the one through the air for the rebound?
Yes.
It looked like I thought Jackson Center was going to get it, and then number 12 came out of, or not, 21 came out of nowhere.
Klopfenstein with a runner. Off balance, Albers with the rebound.
I think Mesher again kind of distracted.
Quick pass underneath. It's Carissa Meyer. Timeout, Coach Siegel. That's a nice offense there. A 30-second timeout gives us an opportunity to let you know NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball game on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. Replay times are Thursday, March 16th at 5 p.m. and Sunday, March 19th at 1 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports.
The scoreboard is wrong. It's 23-16.
Okay, they're in the process of fixing it. I was just looking at that.
I was too, and I'm like, what? But, it's tough when you're the scoreboard keeper and your normal home team is not here, and you got to remember who's home and away. And, it's going to get a little difficult. It seems easy, but we got a lot of responsibility, and they get it fixed.
23-16 is our score on our First National Bank scoreboard as Coach Siegel takes the timeout. Chance to set up her full court pressure and almost came up with a steal.
But how many times have we seen it tonight where Jackson Center really struggles just to get the ball inbounds? Now remember, the girl taking it out can't move. It's a spot foul. So now we'll see once your Mesher kind of plays like a freelance kind of. And again, they get a foul this time, but it's been very well contested. They usually don't guard the girl with the basketball, so it's kind of like 4-on-5.
Yeah, and if you look, the casual observers like Fort Laramie's pressing again. Well, they have a few different presses. Fouls on
Turner,
her third. So her and Rose, 2 players with 3 fouls. Reichert on the bench with 4 for Jackson Center.
It's a right
crazy
idea.
pass.
That's
Reese
not crazy. That's smart.
Up ahead. And that will go out of bounds. It looked like
I know it looked wild, but that's what you got to do. They're double teaming and trapping. Throw it down the floor.
Yeah, you don't want to throw it behind towards your own basket.
Exactly right. And Kendall Reese missed a shot. I don't know which Loramie girl blocked it, but it was a heck of a makeup of defense to stop that transition. But it beats that lazy pass back across the free throw lane.
Alex Rosen's game number 23. There's a high pass, and Rose with the steal.
A little bit too high, maybe.
To Mesher. Nice defense there by Biederman. Following in by Rose.
Again, I think Biederman with a partial block, but a good follow by Alex Rose, her first 2 points of the game. 9-point lead.
Another dangerous spot here for Jackson Center to stay in this game. Bring her in some trouble. Still, but now a jump ball will still give it to Fort Laramie.
Still be a turnover is right. The 4th Tiger turnover of the quarter, and a chance here for Fort Laramie to go up double digits. Summer Hoyne needs to come out. I'm not for sure what she has. She picked something up.
She will go out of the game. Let's just reset it. We have Brandewie, Mesher, Albers, Alex Rose, and also Carissa Meyer into the game for Coach Siegel. 513 and 122. That's over a 800 winning percentage for Coach Siegel. Pass underneath Brandewie to Mesher, banks it home.
Good ball movement in the interior. And Mesher has 6 third-quarter points, went scoreless in the first half. She averages just over 8. She has 6 here in the quarter, 11-point Redskin lead.
Some great interior passing for Fort Laramie the last 2 baskets. Kendall Reese on the wing, tries to pass to Klopfenstein. Nice tip by Brandewie. Brandewie will drive, loses the handle, but they will call a foul.
Boy, Brandewie again, we saw her do it in the first half. She was on the left side, slash across to the right. Here we're on the reverse angle. We saw her on the left side just that strong pound dribble from the left to the right hand, and she's going to the basket. She picks up a foul on
Grace Pranger, her first.
But that's a strong athletic move and tough to defend.
Meyer with the 3. Rebound by Rose and in. Alex Rose with 2 big baskets here in the last couple minutes.
She's got 4 points in the quarter. She averages just over 2.5, and
she's only been in less than 2 minutes of those 2 baskets. Klopfenstein, Coach Brown will call a timeout as the lead is now at 13 points on the 32nd timeout. Gives us an opportunity to let you know the keys to the game brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Timeouts, as always, sponsored by Precision Strip. Our starting lineup sponsor is Emerson Climate Technologies. Jeff and I will pick a player of the game sponsored by NKTelco. Tournament coverage is sponsored by Crown Equipment. And on our First National Bank scoreboard, Fort Loramie Redskins trying to pull away. They lead by 13.
Well, they were doing what we kind of maybe thought they would do right away. It didn't happen. Give credit to the Tigers. They didn't fall into the traps, or the, no pun intended, they didn't fall into traps that caused turnovers. They were able to move the ball. They were able to create some turnovers. They were able to score. But right now here in the third quarter, they've only scored 2 points. Those were on 2 free throws. So, and Fort Loramie's really crashed the glass well and done some great ball movement on offense in their possession. So that's been the difference in a 12-2 third quarter advantage for the Redskins.
Reese to Biederman. Back to Reese. The runner. Rebound will go out of bounds off of Brandewy, as it will stay with Jackson Center. Reese will be trigger woman, if you will. Underneath the Klopfenstein. Doesn't get it to fall. Macy Klopfenstein.
Good bounce pass from Reese. She recognized. She knew the rotation, the sets, where the cutters would be. She waited, saw Klopfenstein get a nice reverse spin move and bounced it down there. And another tough break for Klopfenstein. I think she had won in the first half where they would have loved to have the hoop and the harm, and they didn't get it. And she misses the first free throw here. It wasn't her because she was 2 for 2 in the first half. I think it was maybe Presley Reese that got fouled early in the quarter, where they were hoping in the second quarter to get an end one, and came away with just a 1 point, just like in this trip. 3 points in the quarter, all from Macy Klopfenstein free throw. She has 7 points in the game.
Fort Loramie was subbed a whole bunch in the first half, has backed off a little bit. More of the starters playing for Coach Siegel. Nice hustle by Biederman. She has yet another block.
Yeah, that's at least her second or third of the ball game. And again, it's not like she's a 6 foot tall player. She's, let's see, I got her listed at 5'9", but she is quick, explosive, anticipation.
Oh, double dribble there on Mesher.
And shot blocking is more than just running through the air. It's knowing where the ball is going to be and timing it. And yeah, give her credit. She's developed a nice knack with that.
Pass to Reese will be a foul on Brandewy. Jackson Center had advanced here with 2 wins. They beat Lehman 37-20. They beat Calvary Christian 49-9. It's funny, at 49-9, the Jackson Center boys beat Calvary Christian by the same 49-9 score.
Both of them played each other in tournament?
Yes. Shot up by Biederman, too strong.
Wow, that's
Calvary Christian, their first ever, at least for the girls, tournament action. And first time they're in the OHSAA, a Christian school, and there's a travel on Fort Loramie.
That's odd enough you play the same team, and it's odd enough that you...
At least if that's how I looked at it right, it was the same score. So the odds of that are... And there's the steal. Driving to the basket to Mesher and in.
Well, Mesher's had a nice quarter now. She didn't get the steal, but she definitely finished with a tough shot. 2, 4, 6, 8 points all here in the third quarter for the 6 foot sophomore.
Give the assist to Carissa Meyer. Kendall Reese with the jumper.
Her first points of the game for the 5'8 sophomore.
Jackson Center trying to stay in it, down by 12. We will have it. Carissa Meyer was hurting after she had the steal before.
She got,
she got hit. Something was awry, so they're going to take her off the floor. And I don't think it's anything serious, but she was the one who had the steal, pass it over to Mesher. And then after that, you can tell something wasn't right. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Brandewy. Shot was blocked, I believe, by Biederman again. It goes out of bounds, and Reese could have picked it up. She thought it was off of Fort Loramie, and I don't think she saw that her teammate had blocked it.
But yeah, another block for Biederman. Unless she has extremely long arms, it's been a good timing and rhythm for the defensive player, Addie Biederman.
Coach Siegel with a timeout. Be a 30-second timeout. I'd like to thank some of our additional sponsors: Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Site Freedom Incorporated, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hillsman Automotive, Park National Bank, Securicom, and St. Henry Bank. I was saying this earlier, I'll repeat it again. Whoever wins tonight will play on Saturday at Troy High School. They play the winner of the Versailles bottom part of the bracket is Southeastern, who is 13-7 in the draw. They're playing Covington, who's 12-8 at the draw. They play on Wednesday over in Versailles. So whoever wins this game has the opportunity to scout that game, and then they'll play Troy. It's unusual. It used to be all the sectionals or district semifinals used to all be on Saturday, and they spread it out a little bit.
But it does give some teams, I think, the ability to scout, and I don't know, it probably all balances out, but sometimes I think why aren't games all played on the same night so you can't.
I mean, a lot of teams have scouts, but it's not the same as the head coach being able to scout. But so they have the opportunity, but you have to win this game first. Right now, Fort Loramie with a 12-point lead. Minute 40 to go here. Albers with a tray.
That's her third of the night. She's 3 for 5 from that range. A 24% shooter on the season. Not a real high percentage, but 3 of 5 tonight for numbers 23, 24, and 25 made triples.
It'll be a reach-in foul. Their number 10, Ariel Heitkamp.
She's
more of a JV player, but getting some action here in tournament here. Always good if you're a sophomore, if you can get some varsity action. Help this year, next year.
It's another body that can run, jump, play defense, and shoot. You know, that's what they need, and if you have that ability, there's a tough break.
Went off of Biederman. No over and back call, and there's a steal by Rose over to Heitkamp. She will be tied up in that. Guys in strikes do a good job, but that one was missed there as that ball went off of Biederman's leg. Jackson Center able to dodge an over and back call, and they get the ball in the alternate possession.
That was kind of an awkward possession. I thought so as well, but the Tigers will avoid the points for the Redskins. And
Reese all the way to Biederman.
Those passes are a little bit too high, though. I mean, it's the right idea, but it's too high. Gives the defense a lot of time to recover when there's that much arch.
Coming up on 45 seconds, Fort Loramie with a 15-point lead. It was 3 at halftime, so they've really extended it. It was 17-14. They've scored 17 in this quarter alone.
And 5 for the Tigers. So
now they're running through their offense. The sophomore Heitkamp at point. Alex Rose had 2 big baskets here in this quarter. As they'll go down 20, it looks like Coach Siegel's team will go for the last shot. Coach Siegel directing the offense. She's right inside. She has the set she wants. They'll play here with 10 seconds to go. Rose, 3-ball Albers.
Yeah, that's a tough shot going that way. But she got
Biederman will throw it down the court. Played 3 quarters of basketball here in this district semifinal. Fort Loramie has stretched it out to a 15-point lead. We'll be back with the fourth quarter on NKTelco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
As we go to the fourth quarter, a big third quarter by the Redskins find them up by 15.
Well, they did so. They did a lot of things right at Fort Loramie. They were 7 of 18 from the field, got a lot of shots off. They made 7, 6 of 15 inside the arc, 1 of 3 outside the arc, 2 of 2 from the foul line. They rebounded the basketball well, got some offensive stickbacks for buckets. And Jackson Center is just 1 of 9. So obviously the 1 of 6 from 2-point shooting, 0 for 3. 3-point shooting, just 1 of 9, and added 3 free throws. But just too much offense for the Redskins, and their defense really came to play. They forced 8 turnovers against the Tigers in the third quarter.
Kinley Reichert in the game for Jackson Center, playing with 4 fouls. She missed a lot of the third quarter with those 4 fouls, and there will be a jump ball. Thought they were going to call a foul. Jump ball. We'll give it to Jackson Center. Realistically, if you're Jackson Center, you got to have a little run early to get yourself back in this game down by 15.
Yeah, the time will be an issue. I mean, obviously you got to score, and that's hard enough the way it is. But if you can do that, as you know, again, the defense just is so dominating, you were going to run out of time. And Fort Loramie's got a good ball handler, so you know if you do start cutting into it, they can kill some clock.
Rose wide open for the tray. Alex Rose has been a big factor in this second half. 7 points in the second half.
Well, that was on line number 30.
Klopfenstein with the basket.
Who hit the last bucket for Fort Loramie? 30.
That was Jaden Rose with it.
I thought the same thing, but Alex Rose right above my score sheet. It was 30. They put 30 on the board. I thought it was 20 in the game.
Shot up. Brandaway gets her own rebound. Avery Brandaway with the basket.
She's had, let's say, a quiet night, but boy, her defense has been good. She now has 7 points, and there it is. There's the open. Oh, and that's a good foul. I don't know if Mesher knew it, but you guess what? She stopped probably 2 points for the Tigers. So I don't, again, whether it was luck or if Mesher said, I know that I'm beat. So it is a 1-on-1, but you're going to force Reese to hit him now from the free throw line.
Good to see Carissa Myring back into the game.
She went out with the injury or I don't know if it's poke in the eye or something after she made the steal, and then the pass, I think it was to Mesher in transition.
Reese hits the first.
7 points in the basketball game now for sophomore Presley Reese.
She has 7. Klopfenstein leads the Tigers with 9. Southmore hits a pair.
She's 3 for 4 from the free throw line tonight.
Here's Jaden Rose running the offense. Ariel Heitkamp giving some good minutes. Coach Siegel, nice entry pass into Victoria Mesher.
Well, if you don't make turnovers, you make good passes, you'll find some playing time. And another turnover forced by the Redskins defense. 18-point lead.
41-23 is Fort Loramie trying to hold on for their 18th or 23rd win of the season. There'll be a foul there on Reese.
Her third.
She's played a long time with 2 fouls.
Yeah, she picked those. Did not she pick her first 2 fouls up in the first quarter?
First quarter, yeah, because she sat out for a bit in the second quarter.
Well, she came out in the first. And then came in, but yeah, she got those first 2 fouls early in the ball game.
Mesher gives it to Jaden Rose. Turner gives it to Heitkamp. Backdoor cut by Brandaway. Can't finish there.
Another nice pass by Heitkamp. Like I said, if you can make things positive on offense happen, you'll find a place to play.
There is a nice steal there by Victoria Mesher.
Good hands as Reese went through. The Redskins obviously are athletic. They have good hands, and they got the basketball at the dribble, and nice deflection here, but right back to the Redskins.
Can't finish there by Brandaway. Riker comes up to Biederman. Shot is blocked. Reichert will follow with the basket.
Well, good job by Reichert. Hasn't had a lot of opportunities. That's her 4th shot of the ball game. She's made 3 of them. She has 6 points, but had to get that one to the offensive glass. A good battle for her to stay with it.
Brandaway gives it up to Rose. There's Mesher.
I mentioned, I think, David, at halftime, I said it's a 3-point game. Do you think Jackson Center will have the stamina or the conditioning or the energy, if you will, to stay with? And I see some of the Jackson Center players, they're playing defense standing straight up. It's just like I'm not saying they're not trying, but I think they're just fatigued a little bit and trying to rest and,
Some of those girls have not been out of the game. I don't think Klopfenstein's been out of the game. Really, the only ones that got
the foul trouble
got out of the game. That's about it. But I've seen teams that play as 8 players that have gotten fatigued by Fort Loramie.
Yeah, that's
just
true.
the pace of it. So
and almost the mental anguish because nothing's easy. You're constantly looking through jerseys, if you will, of the opposite team and trying to make a good pass. And what looks like it's open, when you get rid of it, the door closes, the pass is deflected, somebody deflects it.
Victoria Mesher, a very good ball handler, post player, gives it to Heitkamp.
Yeah, she's 6 feet tall. If she can handle the ball, that makes a huge mismatch. And she's athletic, so she can go vertically, she can go laterally. She's a tough person to defend.
Brandewie through the lane, spin
Nice.
move, up and under,
Nice.
and in.
She's had a tough night shooting. It's nice to see that one. That was a good textbook fundamental play. And she's rewarded with a basket. That's a tough shot.
Tough shot. Able to hit it.
Mentioned that one-hander. Remember she had the shot at the end of the first quarter off the dribble drive, went behind the back. Those, if she can do that and that at high speed repetition, no one's going to stop her. I mean, you can't stop that. So there's your hint. If you can master it, do it, because that is unstoppable. And she's hit 1 of 2 of those shots here tonight and shows you what she's capable of, and she's only a sophomore.
Jaden Rose. There'll be a timeout by Coach Siegel. Be a full timeout. You're watching tournament basketball on NKTelco Sports.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Welcome back, Fort Loramie, with a 16-point lead. Jeff, you talked about Victoria Mesher just being a sophomore. You talked about also McKinley Racker. We've got some very good sophomores between those two. Presley Reese, Avery Brandewie as well. Those 4, you'll hear those 4 names.
And they're all sophomores. Good
all
point.
All sophomores.
And I know they play twice each other in the regular season. Do they play twice in junior high?
Yeah, I'm sure they do, yeah. It's double round robin in junior high as well.
So they play each other a lot. And then you figure volleyball is the same way if they all play volleyball. I'm not for sure of that level, but there's a lot of
the rivalries you build when you play 2 teams home and away all the time. But those 4 girls
all
for Fort Loramie, Victoria Mesher, Avery Brandewie, and for Jackson Center, Presley Reese and McKinley Racker, you're going to hear a lot about them.
What they used to
for the
say,
next 2
Dick
years.
Vitale called them super softs.
Yeah. Always had the diaper dandies for freshmen.
Well, there's 2, 4, 5 points for Reichert here in the fourth quarter. 9 now in the game, playing with 4 fouls.
It's a pair.
That turnaround jumper she hit her last possession, that's a good shot.
Brandewie across the timeline. By far the closest tournament game Fort Loramie's had so far. They were tested in the first half. Big third quarter stretch to 17. So it was a halftime 3-point lead. Summer Hoying with a nice rebound and stick back.
You talk about their depth. A lot of these girls score. I mean, I don't have to look down here. How many different players have scored? And that's another feature. You see, they don't have 8, 9, 8. There's not one girl scoring 20, as there's a nice move by Reese. But when you look at 4 or 5 girls each averaging between 4 and 6 points, that all adds up. I mean, they all count.
Yeah, 8 players have scored.
Over and back.
There's an over and a back.
Yep.
To see that, if I look here quickly, 8 players have scored. The only ones that played so far that didn't score, I think, is Ariel Highcamp. The rest
and she just checked out, but she had 2 assists in the third quarter.
Yeah,
so, quote, she did score.
Yeah.
She fed her teammates with, I think, at least 2 assists. So it wasn't like she was a zero, but, yeah, when you can say that your, 9th and 10th player off the bench hasn't scored yet.
That's a good problem to have. So the Tigers have put on a valiant fight, barring a miracle here, down by 14 with 1:35 to go.
Well, good help side defense by Albers. As again, Reichert saw her teammate, but Albers moving without the basketball on defense, read it and just stepped in front of the passing lane. Or else if Jackson Center would have scored that, it would have been a 12-point game. But I think you're right. I think time's going to be a run out on the Tigers.
Pass to Mesher, Victoria Mesher, all in the second half, 12 points.
12, yeah, and she has a high release. She's 6 feet tall anyways, but she takes advantage of that with a higher release of her shot. She doesn't shoot it from her chin, and she's had some nice plays here.
Biederman with the drive. Addie with her first 2 points.
Good to see her score. She's played hard. She's done some great defense. We think she's had maybe 3 blocks for sure. She's had a couple of tough shots. She's left-handed. That was a nice finish with her left hand there for her first bucket of the game.
Mesher, that ball was tipped away by Reichert. There's Rose. We're under 35 seconds. Mesher, they work it quickly around. Brandewee is fouled. Great ball movement.
Yep, and Biederman was about a count late as it looked like Brandewee had got to that spot, and Biederman didn't recognize it quick enough, and then she committed a body foul on a block shot attempt.
Brandewee with 2 shots here.
9 points in the game is what I have her down for. She's had I won't say a rough night offensively. I mean, she's a definitely good player, but she's had some shots not dropped for her, but she continues the battle, and she's had some nice crossover moves where she takes it to the basket.
Misses a pair of free throws there. Jackson Center still battling.
She might need them the next game.
They will be playing at Troy High School on Saturday. If they win from there, they would play at the regional at Vandalia, probably against Russia if they would keep winning. But Fort Loramie was tested. Good showing by the Jackson Center Tigers. They have nothing to hang their head. It was a 3-point game at halftime and ultimately ran out of gas. Good Shelby County League battle here goes in favor of Fort Loramie. Our final score on our First National Bank scoreboard, Fort Loramie 47, Jackson Center 33. Score by quarter, it was tied at 8 after 1. At halftime, it was just 17-14 Fort Loramie. But a big 17-5 third quarter stretched the lead to 15. They ultimately win by 14. Again, the final score on our First National Bank scoreboard, Fort Loramie 47, Jackson Center 33. Scoring by Jackson Center, by Fort Loramie. Individual scoring, they're led by Victoria Mesher with 12. Skylar Albers, 9 points on 3 threes. Avery Brandewee with 9 points. Ava Turner with 4 points. Carissa Meyer with 4. Alex Rose with 4. Jaden Rose with 3. Summer Hoying with 2 for their total of 47 points. For Jackson Center, they were led by their sophomores, Presley Reese and McKinley Reichert with 10 points apiece. Macy Klopfenstein with 9. Kendall Reese and Addie Biederman with 2 points apiece. As Jackson Center ends their season at 13-12 overall, Fort Loramie advances. They go to 23-2 on the season. They will play on Saturday at Troy High School. They'll play the winner of Southeastern and Covington to play at Versailles on Wednesday night. With our final numbers, Mr. Jeff Henshin.
Final numbers for the basketball game. The Tigers finished shooting 2-point shots. 11 of 27 2-point shooting, 1 of 5 3-point shooting overall, 12 of 42 from the field for Jackson Center. For Fort Loramie, 14 of 38 2-point shooting, 4 of 10 3-point shooting, overall 18 of 48 for the Fort Loramie Redskins. Free throws, Jackson Center 8 of 12, Fort Loramie 7 of 10. Rebounding, Jackson Center 16 rebounds, Fort Loramie 26. About half of them were offensive that they did capitalize on in the second half. Turnovers, 24 for the Tigers, and that's about right with Fort Loramie. They cause 23 turnovers a game, so that's right on cue. The Fort Loramie defense causes 24 turnovers. Fort Loramie just 12 turnovers, 7 of them in the first half. A very clean second half for the Tigers, or for the Redskins, as they pull away, but boy, just a 14-point victory. I mean, so congratulations to the Tigers. They hung in there and made the Redskins the number 1 seed in this bracket, if you will, work for their victory. And tough way to end for the Tigers, but I think you got to be proud of how you played tonight. And, you know, obviously a lot to look forward to as they will all come back next year.
All come back under Tiffany Brown next year. Congratulations. Fort Loramie goes to 23-2. One more order of business. We will pick our player of the game, sponsored by NKTelco. We're going to go with number 21, person who scored all her points in the second half, Victoria Mesher.
Yeah, she missed her first 2 shots of the game, and then in the second half went 1, 2, 3, 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 2 from the foul line. Really helped that offense capitalize and finish, all the above. Points they needed when they needed to spread the game, and they got it done. And much of it went through Victoria Mesher with those dozen points.
Congratulations, Victoria Mesher, our player of the game. Congratulations to Fort Loramie Redskins as they advance 47-33 win over Jackson Center. For my partner, Jeff Henshin, I'm Dave Kanapke. We'll be back with the second game. 2 teams warming up right now, Botkins and Russia, here on NKTelco Sports.